Hello, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are doing well. Okay. Okay. So let's start with our next topic. It's globalization. Okay. So this is the starting. This is chapter 35, and this is also the starting of the second section of paper two. Okay. So globalization means that the growing integration of the world economy. Just look around yourself, you'll find that there are so many foreign goods all around you. Okay, just observe. Okay, you'll find that there are many local goods and over around you, but uh, there's lots of other foreign items. Like you'll find what like your book, your curriculum is from Britain, maybe your pen is from India, maybe your fan is from Pakistan, your clothing is from USA, your perfume is from Europe. Okay, so you'll find that the whole world is involved in the process of your and just all around you. And if you think about the broader picture, you'll find that there's so many things are coming in your country and getting out of your country continuously. Okay. Okay. So see that many let's go through this text. So many markets today are global. This means that some firms expect to sell their products anywhere in the world. Also, today a firm could have a head office in London, borrow money from a bank in Japan, manufacture products in China, deal with customers from a call center in India, and sell goods to countries all over the world. So see, a single company, a single firm, and single organization is involved with so many country. Okay, so this kind of development is known as globalization. Okay, so in short, it's like the growing integration. Okay, so the whole world's economy is adding up together. Okay. Okay. So so see, here are some of the features of globalization. Goods and services are traded freely across international borders. There are no government restrictions that prevent firms to sell goods in overseas market. Okay, so if you consider maybe 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was quite strict, but day by day it's becoming more flexible. It's not that there are no rules and regulation. There are rules and regulation, but it's becoming more flexible. Okay, and the restrictions are becoming weaker, so we can trade between many countries. Okay, then think about Coca-Cola. Okay, maybe around 30 years ago, there were no Coca-Cola in our country, but in India, okay, there were no Coca-Cola 30 years ago. But if you think about Bangladesh, okay, you'll find that maybe 50 maybe even 40 years ago, 50 years ago, there were Coca-Cola in our country. Okay. So you'll see that you'll find if you compare these two countries, you'll find that Bangladesh was a bit flexible about bringing a Coca-Cola or a foreign drinks to our country, but India were quite rigid. Okay, but later on, what happened that got a bit flexible, and Coca-Cola entered the market many years after they entered in Bangladesh. Okay, so this is again another example of that international border getting weaker. Okay, and you also find many other international border which are even more flexible. Like if you observe Europe, you'll find that you don't even need a visa or you don't need a permission even or not even in some places they're not even a check post. Okay, you can easily transfer your goods and resources from one country to another. Okay. Then next we have people are free to live and work in any country they choose. Okay, so people can move frequently. Then there are high level of interdependency between nations. This means that the events in one economy are likely to affect other economy. So you see, so there was a term previously used, dependency, like we were depend like people used to say that yeah, Bangladesh is dependent on for other foreign country, but this is not true now. You have to say Bangladesh is interdependent with other countries. That means we need yeah, foreign countries like USA, UK, Europe, and India, and China maybe, but they also need us. Okay, so we need to buy goods and services from them, but we are also a great market for that country, those country, right? So they will have to depend on us. Okay, they will depend on us. So now, if we don't buy from them, then they will be in trouble. Okay, like think about this current pandemic situation. Okay, it definitely disrupted the international transactions, right? So in many countries, the demand has fallen in many countries. Because of this pandemic situation, people are losing job. They can't afford foreign items that much anymore. Maybe. Okay, so and also the production has fallen in many countries because their yeah, production process are facing problem because of the pandemic situation, right? So this is a big problem. So see, it initially started from maybe China, okay, but now the whole world is involved with it, and whole world is suffering. Okay. So this is another example of interdependency. Okay, and then next, see, the capital can flow freely between different countries. It means people of one country can save money in the bank of other country, and there is okay, so you can move your machinery or money from one country to another for business purposes. Okay, then there is a free interchange of technology and intellectual property across borders. Okay, so see that what's happening over here, that we can transfer our technology. Okay, so that's a good thing, right? So mm, so see that you can easily interchange your technology and intellectual property across the border. That means that, like, suppose a technology is invented or circulated in the market of USA today, you won't be surprised that in the next day you'll find it in your country. Okay. It's becoming so rapidly, it's spreading. Okay. Even in the first day, you may get it over here. And many movies I've seen that yeah, even in like when it was premiered. Okay, and these movies are intellectual property, an example of intellectual property. So in even these movies, you'll find that that is premiered in a European country and American countries, and also in our country as well. Okay. And in many countries of Asia, right? So you can see that technology and intellectual property is a big, like, it's getting interchanged between countries more frequently. Okay. Next, we have reasons of globalization. Okay, so the developments in technology have helped globalization to gather pace. Okay, so technology is one of the main factors why globalization is spreading so fast, right? So modern ICT allows firms to transfer complex data instantly to any part of the world. Okay, it can easily spread this around the world. And international transport network have improved in recent years. Right, in particular, the cost of flying has fallen. A number of flights destination increased. Okay, so see that what's happening here, Jay, yeah, the yeah, traveling between country has become cheaper, right? because of the and faster because of the yeah, fall in the flight tickets, right? So this is also helping to improve the globalization situation, right? There was a time that only the rich people used to fly planes, right? But nowadays you'll find many middle class and even lower middle class or even lower class people, they can afford yeah, plane tickets. Okay, if you go to the airport, you'll find many laborers. They're hard-working laborers, like manual laborers. They're moving between countries with the help of paint, right? Okay, next we have many firms want to sell abroad because domestic markets have been saturated. Okay, so if you only depend and if you are a business firm and mm, if you're a business firm and if you are selling in a particular country, and if you find that yeah, that country is already saturated or matured, like all the customers are already buying your products, okay, and the competition is very intense over here. So in these kind of cases, what will happen that if you don't move to a foreign market, then you cannot grow yourselves, or you cannot. It's not a good sign for your long-term profit or survival. Okay? Because after the saturation in any kind of market, there is a decline. Okay, there is something called business cycle. If you have business, you'll find that, and after this saturation period there is a decline. Okay, so when people will be bored of your product, they will stop or reduce buying. Okay, so if you don't move to a foreign market, then you'll be in trouble. Your sales will fall drastically. Okay. Okay, so that's all for this from this chapter. Okay, if you have any question, you can ask me. And I will also provide you with some assignments. Okay, you have to answer them. Okay, and submit it. Okay, and this will carry marks as well. Okay, so take it seriously. Okay, so if you don't have any question, then we will move to the next chapter. Okay, these are very small chapters. Okay. Okay, so these next chapters are about MNC and foreign direct investment. Okay, so see that multinational companies, also known as multinationals, are like large firms which are operating and selling in more than one country. Okay, so see that this is also an effect of the globalization, right? You see that one of the reason why globalization has flourished in recent years is because a growing number of firms have developed significant business interest overseas. These firms are very large and powerful. They sell goods and services into global markets and have production plants and other operating facilities all over the world. They are called multinationals. Okay, so see what's happening, that these multinational firms are large firms, and they're operating not only selling in different countries, they also have operating facilities in different countries. They can have production plants, or they can have selling yeah, retail outlets. Okay, so this will help them to become a multinational. Okay, so there are many popular multinationals in the world. Let's go through some examples. Okay, see. So see, there are many popular multinational company over here. See that You can see Google, Coca-Cola, Yahoo, Samsung, Unilever, Mastercard, Apple. Um, okay. Then over here we have Coca-Cola, ExxonMobil, then Chevron, Microsoft, Citibank. Okay, so see that there are so many examples. Procter and Gamble, Siemens, IBM. Okay, so see that there are so many examples of multinational companies all around us. Okay, you are maybe frequently using them, but you have maybe you haven't noticed that these are from other countries. You are using it so frequently that you are thinking that these are local products, but actually these are from multinational products. Okay, like some of the name, like think about Procter and Gamble. Okay, so if you see the let's see some of the uh, examples from Procter and Gamble. Uh, okay, so see in any kind of departmental store you'll find many products of Procter and Gamble. So let's say it, Pampers, Head and Shoulder, Olay, okay, Ariel. Okay. These are quite common in our country, right? So see that it's all around us. Okay, so these products are not only circulated in our country; it's circulated all around the world. And see, okay, so now let's go through some of the reasons why multinational exist. Mm, so one of the main reason is economies of scale. Okay, we already have already gone through this topic, economies of scale, right? I hope you remember that this is a situation where average cost falls due to the rise in quantity. Mm. Okay. Do you remember the formula of average cost? Let's see. Like this is average cost, right? The formula is what? Total cost divided by quantity, right? Okay. So if we can increase this quantity, then what will happen? Your average cost will fall. All right. Okay. So see what's happening that if you can sell in a large quantity, if you can produce at large quantity, then your average cost will fall, and that's known as economies of scale. Okay, did you get it? Like if you think even mathematically, you'll find that yeah, the rise in quantity or rise in production will lead to a fall in average cost. Okay, any company, especially this multinational company, are very eager to do that. They want to achieve economies of scale, because they're selling in large quantity, and it helps them to reduce their average cost. Okay, if you can also remember the curve, average cost curve, okay, it was like a big U, right? So if you in the graph in this axis you have cost, and in this cost axis you have quantity. So see that as quantity is increasing, the average cost is falling. Okay, and up to this part you'll find that average cost is falling. All right, this is the minimum average cost. Okay, so all the firm may want to achieve this point, right? And but only large firms are able to do that. Okay, there are the large firms like these multinationals are able to increase their production in such quantities which will help them to achieve economies of scale. Okay, and there is a danger point over here, but we won't be discussing this in this chapter. We already discussed that, and that's this economies of scale. Like if it becomes too big, then there is a problem. It may turn into a diseconomies of scale. Let's see that average cost may start to rise again. Okay. So that's the situation. Okay, so in the economies of scale, see what's happening. That in some industries, cost can be reduced by firms that exploit economies of scale. Multinationals will be in a better position to exploit economies of scale because they are so large. Okay, so firms that sell to global market will produce more than those who just sell to domestic market. They can therefore lower costs. Also, multinationals have access to cheap global resources such as labor, capital, and commodities. Okay, so see that if they like think about our country, you'll find lots of garments, ready-made garments factories, right? So we are producing garments for the whole world, right? So these most of them those garments are from orders from multinational companies, right? So see why they came over here. One of the main reason is cheap labor. Okay. So, see, cheap labor. Okay. So you see that this cheap labor is a very important thing because this will help them to reduce their average cost as well. Okay, and in this competitive market, this rise in competition. Yeah, in many cases, that there is a downward pressure on the selling price, right? Everyone is reducing their selling price to to stay in the competition. And if That's why there is also a pressure on the cost as well. The multinational companies are trying to reduce their cost by moving to cheaper alternatives, okay, and so that they can cope up with this competition and downward pressure on price. Okay. Like you'll find more examples. Like think about iPhone or your Samsung mobile phone. Okay, so you may be even 5 years ago or maybe 10 years ago, you'll find them that they were being produced in USA or Europe. Okay, so but now you'll find them they're getting produced in China, Vietnam, or other less other like developing countries. Okay, they are moving from the developed country because the labor cost over in those countries are very high. And also you think about the machineries and the land and everything. It's a rent. Everything is very high in developed countries. But if you move to a developing country or a poorer country, you'll find them in a very cheap manner. Okay. Next, there are marketing advantages. Like some firms have become multinationals because they have been able to establish a successful brand in their domestic market, and they exploit it globally. And they also use heavy advertising and innovative marketing to attract customers globally. Okay. So yeah, you'll find that this marketing advantages of the multinational company, that you'll find that some of the brand are very successful. Okay, they're so strong that they can um, they can dominate any market. Like think about a foreign product. They're not here over here, not in your country yet. But if they come over here, they will become a very dominant farm. Okay, let's see. Suppose maybe I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Like see Starbucks. Okay. Starbucks is not officially in our country yet. Okay, but if they come over here, they will dominate the market, right? They will become very successful. Okay. If Why? Because it's not in our country, but you'll find that their brand image is so strong that they are already popular among the some of the concerned customers, right? They already tried it abroad, or they heard it from their friends and family that this is a good one. Okay, think about Amazon.com. Okay, they recently officially came to our country. Okay, so because they're providing some web services. Okay, so again, that's like all the local web service providers, they're all we're feeling a threat because Amazon.com is one of the biggest company in the world, right? Because Jeff Bezos, he owns the Amazon, and it's a very strong firm. Okay, so see, it's not before even it came to our country, it became popular. That's because of their marketing position. Okay, they position their brand in our brain or our perception in such a way that it's very popular. Okay. Then again, we have technical, these multinational companies have technical and financial superiorities. Okay, like they have the best technology, latest, most sophisticated art of state technology in the world. Okay, and they have huge amount of money to support those technology and every other kind of expensive thing they want to do. Okay, okay then. So that's all for today. In the next class, we'll go through this topic again, inshallah. Okay, so let me know if you're facing any problems. Okay, thank you, everybody.